Hey, what's up, everybody? Scott Spreitzer here, DocSports.com. It is NFL Week 9, Joes versus Pros, Sunday, November 2nd, Monday, November 3rd. We're going to talk about all the games from a betting perspective and tell you where the Joes and Pros are in agreement and butting heads. Used to do this all the time on ESPN Weekend Radio with Dari Noka and Mel Kiper, and on Sundays with Kevin Winter. And so a few of you said, hey, how about bringing it back? And here we are, third week we've done this now. And then at the end, I'm going to have a best bet of all the plays we're going to talk about. Real quick note, you can find all of my plays over on my homepage at DocSports.com. All 6 of my football plays have still yet to go. 3 on Saturday, led by a 7-star in college football. It's an early game, by the way. 3 on Sunday, led by a 6-star in the NFL. 4-1 last week. 27-14 since September 13th. And 97-63, up over $10,000 going back to last season. By the way, if you see me doing this a lot, it's because it's top of the 8th in Game 6 of the World Series. Kind of keeping an eye on it. All right, let's get to it. Let's start first, top of the schedule. The Chicago Bears and the Cincinnati Bengals doing battle in Cincy. 60% of the tickets and the money are currently on the Chicago Bears. So what we're seeing here is a situation where the sharp money and the public money are in agreement. Did a video the other day, and top 5 countdown. In fact, we had 4 college and 1 NFL, and it was this particular game. And we jumped on the under, believe it or not, under 53 early this week. It's 51.5 in most spots, everybody, but I like it down to 50. So still like it to stay under the total. But again, the Joes and Pros in agreement, about 60% of the tickets and money on the Chicago Bears. Falcons and Patriots doing battle, and the Patriots are getting about 60% of the tickets and the money in that one. Right now, the Patriots laying 5.5 points, public and sharp money in agreement. Yeah, I kind of thought more pro money would have been on the Atlanta Falcons this week, but I guess not. That's not what is taking place. Joes versus Pros game here, our first one to talk about. There's 3 that we're going to get to. The Niners at the Giants. Right now, the Niners, kind of the public side, getting 60% of the tickets. The Pros have backed the Giants more than they have the other side. About 54% of the money is on the New York Giants. So a little bit of a Joes versus Pros situation there. Again, public on San Francisco, and the pro money, a little bit more than half on the New York Giants. All right, Colts at the Steelers, and Indianapolis getting a lot of play from both the public and the pros as of right now, Friday night. Indy laying 3.5, depending on where you shop. And we're seeing a situation where both the Joes and Pros are in agreement. Tomlin now 21-8-3 against the spread as a home dog for what it is worth. Let's check out the Panthers and the Packers. 65% of the tickets and the money on Green Bay. You certainly would expect public money to come in on the Packers in this one, and that's what they've done. A little bit surprised that the money has also kind of backed the Packers in this one. Not that I like the Panthers. I'm staying away from this game, everybody. Next up, the Vikings and the Lions in overwhelming support from the Joes and Pros on Detroit in this one. Currently, the Lions are 8.5 to 9-point favorites, depending on where you shop. You know, I know some smart guys who are on Minnesota. I can't do it. If J.J. McCarthy's playing quarterback, for me, it's got to either be the other side or it's got to be a pass. And but again, I know some smart money that's on the Vikings, but the overwhelming money in the tickets, of course, right there as you see it, in agreement on Detroit. Broncos and Texans doing battle. Again, we got Pros, Joes in agreement. They're back in the Denver Broncos here. Texans laying 1.5 to 2. I disagree with this one. I disagree with the public. I disagree with the sharper money. I do believe Houston is going to be the right side in that one. Chargers at the Titans. The Chargers, agreement here out of the Joes and Pros. 75%, more than 75% of the money and the tickets are on the Chargers, and the Chargers are laying 9.5. Again, I know some smart people who are on Tennessee. The problem with backing Tennessee, they're on an 0-11 slide against the spread at home. They only won one of those games outright, and they've only covered 4 of the last 25 games overall. It's kind of tough to pull the trigger on a team that has been falling that short of the spread. Our next Joes versus Pros, the public and the Sharps butting heads in the Jaguars-Raiders game. 58% of the tickets or the public on Jacksonville. 54% of the money or pro money is on the Raiders. And I tend to agree with the pro money here. I made a little wager on the Las Vegas Raiders in this one. Saints and Rams, they're in agreement again. Over 65% of the tickets and the money on the Rams, despite that college football line of 14-point favorite, of course, the Rams at home. And Saints are going to go with Tyler Shuck. replacing Spencer Rattler in that one. Big game up next is the Chiefs and the Bills. We've got 55% of the tickets and 60% of the money backing the Buffalo Bills here. I like Buffalo in this spot. They're getting 1.5 to 2 points as we speak Friday night. Little surprised with the Joes here. I thought they might come in with KC. It'll be interesting, though, because they are backing Josh Allen and company just like the sharp money. Sunday Night Football, Seahawks at the Commanders, and the Seattle Seahawks as of Friday night, getting over 60% of the tickets and the money in that one. Real quick myth buster here. A lot of people like to talk about on talk radio and things of that nature, play against a West Coast team when they're on the East Coast in the Eastern time zone. It's a myth. That's not actually the case. Going back almost 40 years, the West Coast team has actually been more profitable, about 53, 54% against the spread on the East Coast. And it's been that way for a long, long time. Joe's Pros Monday Night Football, the Cardinals at the Cowboys. The money, the pro money coming in on the Cardinals, 54% of the sharp action, 68% of the tickets on Dallas. So that means there's a lot of money coming in on the Arizona Cardinals, Joes, and Pros. Butting heads there. Going to give you my best bet in just a second, recapping the Joes Pros games. 49ers are getting the public money at the Giants. The Pros are betting on the New York Giants. Jags and Raiders from Sin City. The public money is on the Jags, and the sharp money is on the Raiders. And finally, the last and not least, Joes versus Pros game on Monday Night Football. Right now is a Friday night. The public money coming in on Dallas, and the sharper money coming in on the Arizona Cardinals. My best bet, we're going to go back to the matchup between the Colts and the Steelers. So the Pros, the Joes, myself, we're all in agreement here on the Indianapolis Colts. And, maybe they slip up a little bit down the road. I don't think it's going to happen here. Again, I get it. I know about Mike Tomlin, 21-8-3 against the spread at home as an underdog. Well, he was 21-7-3 before last week's loss. The Steelers have not looked good too often. They're fortunate to be 4-3 outright. They spent all that money on defense, and they've allowed more than 30 points 4 times in 7 games. They've been outgained in every game except for the game against the dreadful Browns offense, and outgained badly in some of these games. They give up 6 yards per play. They're banged up in the trenches on both sides of the line of scrimmage. So it does feel a little square, but I was happy to see some sharp money on the Colts also, and that's what I'm doing with this week's best bet. The Colts minus a field goal over the Pittsburgh Steelers, our Joes versus Pros best bet for November 2nd. Appreciate you guys watching all these videos. Be sure to click on the thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe, and then you won't miss anybody's videos over at DocSports.com. I have a bunch going this weekend, top 5 countdown in college football, a couple of individual game videos. So be sure to check them out. We do appreciate it. All right, everybody, let's put them in the win column. I'm Scott Spreitzer, DocSports.com.